Welcome to Martin and Roman's Sunday Best.
If this is the first time you're catching us, yes, they've finally given me my own show. The only condition is my dad is here to supervise me.
Yeah.
Oh, God. We're here every Sunday morning to bring you some fun, lovely guests and a little bit of family rivalry between myself and my dad.
Now, joining us today is soul diva extraordinaire, West End star, and in my opinion, one of the best singers this country has ever produced. It's Beverley Knight. That's the truth.
Over on my side is Love Island host, Ireland's finest. Please put your hands together. Laura Whitmore is here.
As you can see, we're all sat a safe distance apart, so our third guest is joining us virtually. Zooming in later today is pop star and podcast star, Jessie Ware. Oh, yeah.
If you haven't heard it yet, Jessie has a brilliant podcast called Table Manners, which she hosts with her mum, and I cannot wait to ask her all about it. I'm hoping for some serious advice on how to cope working with a parent.
Now, there's one final introduction we need to make, and that is the cloud. Ooh.
Yeah, we all talk about the elusive cloud, but here it is, and throughout the show it's going to provide us with some games and inspirational ideas.
Now, there's no denying it that the summer ahead has been just a little bit disappointing, with so many events cancelled or postponed, like the Olympics, the Euros, the festivals. But Beverley Knight is here with some good news at last. Not all music events have been cancelled, right? You're doing Henley Festival on the 12th of July, right?
That's right. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. Finally, a festival that's going ahead.
How's it going to work, though, with social distancing?
Well, it's being beamed into your home as live, so I will be in situ in Henley, socially distanced. My guitarist and my keyboardist will be the appropriate distance from me, and then everybody else will be able to watch, you know, at home. And I'll just be doing I think that because it's going to be screened like that, I think doing a more intimate set is kind of pulls people in. So hopefully, you know, people will still really be able to engage for 40 minutes and just enjoy it.
I am so jealous, right? Because only if you play music, if you've been there on stage, you know,
Laura.
playing music.
Yeah, Laura.
Right? I'm just saying.
So we're excluded from this conversation.
You understand the thrill of it. And for you to get back, I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, you're going to have to do it again. It's so lovely.
It's honestly, you know, that all of us know, whether we play or not, there is nothing like that experience of just having that instantaneous thing of someone singing to you and you just, you know, getting it, whoa, all guns blazing. It is just the best experience. And not having that at all, having like nothing, having Insta Live where it just all goes a bit wrong and a bit wonky, it's just like, nah. So being able to do something where I can just perform with actual musicians and not just a backing track from my kitchen is just fantastic for me.
Well, what's your favourite festival you've ever played at?
Oh, God, well, we're missing Glasgow this year, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that playing Glasgow was one of the best experiences of my life. And I've been, you know, honoured enough to do it.
How many times have you done it?
1, 2, 3 times I've played Glasgow now.
Wow.
It's just...
I've never done it. I would have loved to have done it.
What was the favourite one that you ever did?
My favourite festival that we ever did was Isle of Wight.
Oh, Isle of Wight's ready,
when I grew up, you know, I was watching Pete Townsend in The Who, and I was watching Jimi Hendrix on stage, and to walk the same boards as those guys, you know, where Jimmy lit his guitar on fire, and then all of a sudden I was out there playing True, jink, jink.
I'll tell you a funny story.
Similar vibe, you know.
But the thing is, I was there. No, but I was there because you played that when you came back.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I had never seen... That was the first time I had actually seen Spandau Ballet.
So when you realised who he was, going, hold on a second.
Well, no, because I'm not joking, right? I'm not joking. So I was going, God, there's a lot of people going to the main stage. Who's on there? Who's on? Who's on there? Do you know what I mean? I thought my dad was on the farmer's stage. You know what I mean? Like,
way in the back.
You know that one? You know that one that's already part of the park?
Yeah.
It's already part of the park. It's like a little thing. I thought he was just going to be on there.
One.
But I've never seen, honest to God, I've got to say, it was a very proud moment. And I've never seen so many gold morph suits in my life. Beverley, as well, not just that, new West End musical.
Yes.
Talk to me about The Drifter Girl.
Oh, The Drifter's Girl. It's a gift of a role for me. I'm playing the late, great Faye Treadwell. She managed the Drifters, took them from a well-known, well-respected vocal group and turned them into international superstars just by her grit and her determination. Yeah. And this was in the 60s and throughout, when no one had heard of a female manager. No. Women did not do that. Women were in the kitchen making tea and all that kind of stuff. And certainly a woman of colour, just hell no. But she was that driven and that determined. So I get to play her at some time soon.
Yeah, that is a wonderful role to have.
Cannot wait.
Really strong.
Cannot wait. She was a tough cookie.
Yeah. Right, listen, I've seen you on stage a couple of times. You are just enormous. You're going to kill that.
I can't wait.
That's a role made for Beverley.
I can imagine. I mean, it must be tough. I want to talk about it. When we'll be able to see it.
I wish I could say, oh, well, we're opening day.
Yeah.
You know, I was meant to be rehearsing end of next month, and that's done. So I don't know. What I do know is I'm going to do that show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do that show.
Do it in your kitchen. Do it in your kitchen for the family.
Oh, yeah. From BK's kitchen.
Yeah, but you have tried to do some recording, right, during lockdown?
I have, yeah.
But under a duvet.
Oh, God.
No, I've got a little clip, if we can show it on the screen.
So I just love the fact that your fella has just completely done one here, and he has completely caught you off guard. Look at that.
That's fabulous. I'll tell you something, when Spandau started, right, we had to lay Tony Hadley down on his back under a duvet because his voice was too loud. Because the microphones back then just couldn't handle Tony Hadley.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I get that. So I was trying to get the nice sound with the duvet, trying to make it all sound nice and close, and then James is there with the phone. He keeps doing this to me. He keeps catching me.
I love it.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, that's a great clip.
Welcome to lockdown recording.
Amazing. It's so great to have you here, Beverley. Thank you so much. You can catch Beverley at the Digital Henley Festival on the 12th of July. Head to their website for more details. And Beverley's going to be hanging around here today playing a few games. And there are a few other people we want to introduce you to. Now, we are playing those games with our guests, but we each have a family on our team. So let's meet them right now.
First up, we've got the Kidd family from East Lothian in Scotland.
Yes.
That is Mum Karen, Dad Gordon, and their daughters, 16-year-old Abby and 9-year-old Mary. Hello, guys, how you doing? Now, Mary has become a TikTok star, so we look forward to hearing about that later, so get your story ready.
And on my side is the Williamson family from Romford in East London.
Hey guys.
Hello, the Williamsons. Since homeschooling began, Tiana has been busy making videos to inspire and help other children, which is incredible. We'll talk more about that later on. So, guys, thank you for being with us today. But first, I do believe that you guys have a question for Beverley. Isn't that right, the Williamsons? What is your question for Miss Knight?
My mum's a big fan, and Beverley, are you a cat person or a dog person?
Well, that's an easy one. I am a dog fanatic.
Oh, thank God.
I love dogs. I love dogs. I absolutely... I wasn't a fan of dogs my whole life.
Really?
I used to be terrified of dogs.
Really?
Growing up, I was so scared of dogs. Didn't have any pets, wasn't around anyone who had pets. So I just had this fear. And that all changed when I met my sister-in-law's dog in the US, and it was a big old lump of a dog. And I thought, I'm going to die, that's it, it's going to eat me. I can't stay in this house. But the dog was called Blue. he just had the sweetest temperament and was so lovely, and his waggy tail would whip back and forth.
They are the best
The
creatures
best.
on the planet. I
Cured
love
me.
them.
They are so
Laura,
good.
what about you? Are you a cat or dog person?
Dog, Mick. Mick is the ruler of our house. I feel like Mick, I've had too much Mick time actually at the moment because I've been home so much. He just follows me around everywhere. I said this the other day, I don't know if you got this, but I was on the loo. And next minute the door pushed open, jumped to my lap. I was like, that's too much, Mick. That's too much. I need my space.
Honestly, they will get separation anxiety.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, time for a quick break. But still to come, we're going to be chatting to the wonderful Laura Whitmore, Table Manners podcast star and musician Jessie Ware. Plus, we're going to let you know on what we think is the best entertainment this week. See you in a bit.
Welcome back to Martin and Roman's Sunday Best.
Now, Beverley Knight and Laura Whitmore are here, and a little later on, we're going to be joined by pop star sensation Jessie Ware.
But first, let's find out a little bit more about our families. Now, on my side, we've got the Kidd family. Now, let me talk to Mary, because you are a TikTok star, right? And you were dancing for 6 hours?
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
I don't know.
Neither do I. Shall we have a look at you in action? Oh man, that is absolutely fantastic. But I'll tell you what's even more fantastic is you raised £3,400 for charity.
Oh,
yeah. Karen, what's that money going to go towards?
It's going towards the Walk with Scott Foundation, which I'm very proud to be on the board of, and it's a local charity that helps local causes, especially at this time. It's helping really vulnerable people, food banks, etc. So it's smashing.
So listen, you want to give a little shout out?
I want to take the opportunity to say a massive thank you to all the communities, all the resilience groups up and down the country that have gone over and above anything at this time. They've come out their houses, they've helped their neighbours. They've really just taken the step ahead, different fundraising groups to raise cash, etc. Really just done loads of lovely things to help people that need it at this time. So,
Karen, that was well said.
yeah, really nice. Thank you so much for being here today. And also, spot the dad who's been left out in the sun. I love you. I love you, but you're on the other team. Now, let's say hello to my team, the Williamson family from East London. Mum Susan, Dad Tyrone, and daughters 6-year-old Tiana and 3-year-old Anaya. Now, Tiana, please could you tell me about how you've become an internet star over the last few weeks?
So when lockdown first started and school was closed, I missed my friends, so I done storytelling and activities so children could see a child reading or like to listen to a story or they like to listen to a story. I even have my own YouTube channel called Tiana's Tales, and it's on the Liberty Shopping Centre Romford's Facebook page.
That is so good. That is really nice. That is really nice. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on to the show with us today. You've done some incredible things, and it is time to play our first little game. Now, Laura, you are on my side with the Williamsons.
Yes, the winning side.
And exactly. And Beverley, sorry, you're my dad. yeah. And Kidd family, of course, please try and help him out as much as possible.
Now we need a judge. And we like someone with a little bit of life experience to decide who is the winner. So today we are welcoming back one of our favourite granny judges, who at 88 definitely has the wisdom that we're looking for. And it's Nan Ruth from Kidderminster.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
How are we doing,
Hello.
Ruth?
Martin, please can I say hello to Beverley?
Of course you
From
can.
my son. My son absolutely loves Beverley and his family. Would she please give my son away?
Of course! Of course, there you go!
You'll be over the moon. Thank you, Beverley.
You are
Thank
welcome.
What's your son's name?
Tim.
Tim.
All right, Tim.
Perfect. Ruth, thank you so much for being here once again. Lovely having you back, and it's time to play a
Thank
very
you for having
interesting
me.
game. This game involves these. Now, if you're looking at this, saying, what is this strange concoction? It's a kazoo. Now, the game is called... Name that tune. So here's how it's going to work. We're going to take it in turns to play some songs, and the other team and our families need to guess the title.
Beverley, Laura, how are you on the old kazoo?
It's the first time. My first time. Me
Yeah.
What a way to pop my cherry. Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we asked each of our families to make a homemade buzzer to play the game, so let's test them out right now. The kids, can I see your buzzer, please? Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I love that. That is a typical bloke thing to do. He's got an air horn and he's pointing it right in his family's face. So good. I love it. Okay, the Williamsons, let's see your buzzer, please. Hey, lovely.
Love it.
Okay.
Okay, you've got to buzz in with your guesses as quick as you can and we'll stop playing. Now, the family with the most correct answers wins. As always, our granny judge will keep the score. So, Nan Ruth, are you paying attention for me?
I'm paying attention, yes.
Oh, you're looking great
She's
today. Ruth.
looking very good. Right, Laura, I think we're going to go first.
Shall we do it?
Okay. So
This is a hard
remember,
one.
families, when you know what it is, buzz in. Come on, the Williamsons.
Here we go, here we
Your
go.
eyes ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got to go to the kids' family.
We've got a buzzer.
They just wanted us to stop.
Blame it on my roots.
I can't give you that. I can't give you that. I'm gonna. You're very close. You got the right idea of the song. William said, "Come on, I'm going over to you. Any ideas?"
Oh, so sorry, we don't know.
No. Well, you have to pass on it. The song is Lizzo Juice.
Lizzo Juice?
That was in tune.
But the minute you said it, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go on then. You have a go. You have
It's
a
a
go.
great sound,
How do they
great
look?
title, but I'm not sure I'll know it.
All right. Go on then. You go.
Here we go.
Right, here we go.
I'm not even sure I can do this properly.
Got it the wrong way round, mate.
Oh, have we? All right. All right.
Don't make it easier for him. Don't make it easier.
Oh, yeah,
just
fair,
let me do
yeah,
it the wrong
fair.
way.
You ready?
Oh, no,
Here
it's
we
the wrong
go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, Williamson family.
Are we for frankly respect?
Yeah.
Is that it?
It is. Yeah. We're getting the point. Well done. Can I just say? Beverley,
I'm doing it the
I'm
other way
so
around.
sorry. This man is going to ruin your career. You come in here, you thought this is a lovely family show, and you start with Martin Kemp ruining your career. Going, you're not even blowing into it. You're not blowing into it.
Right, I wanted to blow down the other end.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm blowing down the other end. Don't take the mickey.
I don't know if that's family friendly for a Sunday morning. Right.
Right, okay, here we
ready?
go. Okay, we've got to do better. Should we
Ready?
count ourselves in? Look at the professional musicians over there counting themselves in.
Yeah,
we should count ourselves in, so we should see.
They all start on 5. Don't know why. What happened to 1, 2, 3? Right. 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on!
Don't
Is
know
it
that.
We had
Go on!
Murder on the dance floor, Sophie Ellis-Bextor.
Yes!
I know it's not great for our team. I was happy someone got it.
Yeah, wicked. Well, that went smoothly. Well done to all the families. But let's find out who won officially. Nan Ruth, was it me or my dad? Who won?
Today, it's Martin that's
Oh, thank you so much, families. That was such great fun. Now, if your family fancies joining us on the show, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, and drop us an email with your name, contact number and why you think your family should be on our teams. Do you have a special talent, secret skill, something you just want to shout about? Just drop us an email at sundaybest@cactustv.co.uk. Now, Laura Whitmore, sadly, one of our favourite highlights of summer has been postponed this year. Obviously, Love Island isn't here. It's a very strange thought.
There's a lot of love here, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of love going on here.
In the studio in London.
We've actually been enjoying... I've been binge watching Love Island Australia. Because obviously Love Island's not back until next year. But Love Island Australia, I thought this was a mistake when I first saw it, but it was saying, oh, Laura's best friend is the voice of Love Island Australia. And
can't get away from it, Roman.
Your boyfriend is the voice of Love Island UK. How is that even possible?
There's lots of voices just following me around everywhere.
Yeah,
it's actually because they're showing now season 1 of Love Island Australia. So that was on a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because I remember my best pal, Owen McDermott, he was filming it in Mallorca about 2 years ago when Ian and Owen are really hard to say. Sometimes I get the names confused. It's quite awkward. I mean Ian, wrong name. So yeah, it's great to see it.
It's been so much fun. 9 o'clock on ITV2 every single night. It is. Can I just say, Australian Love Island, it's carnage.
Oh wow!
It's kind of because it's the first series as well. I don't really know what to expect, so they're not they're kind of going in there and.
It's unreal. I love it. I'm addicted to it. And please tell me about your podcast, Castaway.
Yeah, so I know you've got Jessie Ware on the show, and I'm a huge podcast fan. I love storytelling in all its forms. So with Castaway, because there's so many podcasts out there, and I think a lot of people feel overwhelmed by it. It's like, what do I listen to? Because there's so many. Yeah. But I always think you can tell a lot about a person by what they listen to. So, same with music. There's a lot of people who you think from the outside, they probably just listen to a lot of comedy. A lot of comedians listen to a lot of dark stuff, is what I've learned. I live with one. But so what I decided to do is, it's kind of like Desert Island Discs, basically, but for podcasts. So I kind of talked to somebody. So we've had, in the past, we've had everyone on from Dame Kelly Holmes, Niall Horan, photographer Rankin, Jessie will be coming on it soon, and just ask them what they listen to. And you'd be very surprised. And I think if you've never gone into the podcasting world before, it's nice to hear what other people listen to, and it gives you other recommendations.
I mean, who would be, the classic question, who is the dream guest? Like, who would you love to sit down and say, what is it that you listen to?
The first podcast I ever listened to was Super Soul Sunday, Oprah. So I'm not going to aim high. Yeah. I just think me and Oprah could be really good friends. He just doesn't know it yet. I love to, because Oprah's interviewed everybody. Yeah. So I think it would be so great to be able to interview her.
Wicked. Oh, well, mate, listen.
If you know her, just...
I'll be sure to let you know as soon as I know, definitely. Well, we've got to take a break, but we're going to chat more to Laura when we come back. Plus, we've also got some great suggestions to keep you entertained over the next week. We'll see you in a few minutes.
See ya. To mine and Roman's Sunday Best.
Yeah, it's our first ever telly-series together. And look who is with us, Beverley Knight and Laura Whitmore. And shortly, musician and brilliant podcaster Jessie Ware is going to be joining us from her home.
But before the break, we were chatting to Laura about your new podcast, right? So how is it?
Well, I think it's one of the few things, bar this show, that you can do during lockdown. Yeah. So that's always good. And the radio show I do as well, BBC 5 Live, I've been doing from home. I'm doing a lot of things from home, so any opportunity to get out of my house has been lovely.
So you wrote and you were in a short film, right? Yeah. Called Sive.
You pronounced it right. Nobody pronounces it right.
I've been working on it all day.
Don't get me wrong. Honestly, I accidentally said Sieve and he goes, Sive. So the
Irish way of spelling it, S-A-D-H-B-H. Obviously, Sive.
But mate, it's done so well. It's been selected, correct me if I'm wrong, British Film Festival.
Yeah, it's been the British Independent Film Festival. It just, it's been into another festival now, the Galway Flat, which is Academy Award classified. Wow. So it's been lovely.
I can't let you go, Laura, before today without mentioning Gogglebox. So good to see you on that with Ian. How did you find it?
I loved it. It's nice to be able to record something from home. It's like, it's an actual TV show that happens at home anyway. We didn't have to adapt. And because we were only in it for the last few episodes, we've been able to watch you guys and get some tips. And the first show that we did that went out recently, I didn't know, like, you kind of watch, when you're watching it at home, you don't really realise how real your reactions are.
Yeah.
And there was this one episode of a show that you guys watched as well, which was that Hostile Planet.
Yeah, horrendous. It's really sad.
Yeah, and they have these, like, barnacle geese that, like, jump off this rock.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is nice. I like wildlife.
Yeah.
And then the little bird just went splat.
I know, don't. It kills you. But that, as you mentioned, that's the natural reaction.
But you forget the camera's
telly.
there because you're so into it. Also, do you guys snack a lot? We got given a lot of snacks.
Yeah.
We try not to. We just
took
pick,
all of them.
don't we,
I'll
Rob?
tell you a little insight, right? So we shoot that at my mum and dad's house.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I'm a little bit further apart from my mum and dad. But we're not allowed any bad snacks because it's my mum's house.
Okay.
And my mum wants to make sure my dad only eats healthy snacks. So I go round there and I go, what have you got today? And he goes, dried peas.
But Laura, listen, the Kid family, you got a question for Laura, haven't you?
Yes, I do.
Fire away.
Right. Laura, what is Ian's worst habit at home?
Oh, his worst habit. Oh, where do I start? How long is this show? Do you know, before I say anything, it's actually been lovely lockdown, and I think for both of us, we don't spend a lot of time together. Probably the same, like all of us here, we're always travelling, we're always going somewhere else. We're never in one place, so it's been nice to reset, which is what we've done. I've learned good things like Ian can cook, never knew that before. Bad things, he plays an awful lot of computer games, like an unnatural amount of computer games. And I don't think I realised because, like, when we filmed Love Island beginning of this year, I wasn't there all the time. Like, I was back and forth and I was, filming in London and then going back again.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he was doing. And it was just playing computer games when I wasn't there.
Yeah.
There are worse things he can be doing.
Is he FIFA or Call of Duty?
He is everything. It doesn't matter. Once there's a square box in front of him, he'll do it. He'll play whatever.
I know. I've seen his
He
setup
played
in his
marbles the
hotel
other
room.
day. Marbles is a game. You just throw a marble.
What, virtually?
Really?
Yeah, and the marble just spins.
But he was doing it on a computer game.
He's doing it on the computer.
Okay, Ian, if you're watching this, get outside. Get outside. Come on. Right. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
having
Laura.
me.
And don't forget to download Laura's podcast, Cast Away, and make sure, if you can, check out her short film. Now, as well as listening to Laura's and Jessie Ware's podcast this week, we have some other suggestions just for you that we think are going to entertain you.
Yep, our best picks from stuff on the box and online.
Let's start with some of the best telly to binge watch. Now, you can catch up on the ITV hub, The Masked Singer US. So this is the US version of the show that Joel Dommett, who was on the show a few weeks ago, hosts. But this time, it's not hosted by Joel Dommett, it's hosted by Mariah Carey's ex-husband, Nick Cannon. That was the best way I could kind of describe it.
You completely
Sorry,
cleared
Nick
it up.
Cannon, if that's offensive. But look, celebrity panellists, we're talking Nicole Scherzinger, Jenny McCarthy, Robin Thicke and Ken Jeong, who also does the UK one. He's Mr. Kim in Hangover. It's wicked. It's so good. I still can't believe these crazy outfits. Let's take a look.
Do you believe in love after love? I can feel something inside me say I really don't think you're strong enough, no.
I love that show.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it? What a show! Also, you can watch The Voice Kids on ITV Saturday evenings. We've got a clip of that, but listen, this is one of my favourite shows.
Take a look. So good.
Oh, beautiful. You know what I like about that show is that you're seeing raw talent. You know, on the main show, you're seeing people that have kind of worked on it forever. But here you're seeing a beginning seed of talent, which I love.
Right. Now, this has taken over the world in the last few years, and it is on Disney+. I'm talking about Hamilton. You can stream it. It's the Broadway musical extraordinaire, originally intended for cinema release.
Beverley, I bet you'd like to do that show.
So I tell you what, I went to see it in the West End and I just sat, just mouth opened, you know, loads of people I knew were in it and I was like, this is insane. Just so superb.
So it's worth a watch.
Definitely, definitely.
Well, here's a binge classic for you, Downton Abbey. Now, is that one for you, Ro?
Do you know what? I'm going to say something terrible.
What?
I've never seen it.
You know what? If you've never seen it, that is a real treat that you've got ahead of yourself. You should just, you know, lock yourself off for a whole month.
It's too late telling me that now.
I know. 3 months ago. Cheers, cheers.
It's great.
Laura, your recommendation, I've heard lots of good things. What is it?
I don't know about you guys, but I find trying to agree on what to watch with the other half is quite tough. So I have my separate box sets that I like to watch, and then every now and then we find something that we'll watch together. So this is one we stumbled across on Apple TV called Trying, and it's with Rafe Spall, who's a great actor. He's a great theatre actor. And to see him, in this, I'm playing a good guy for once, because he always plays the bad guy, and Ophelia Lovibond's in it, and it's about this couple going through the adoption process, and it's lovely, it's heartwarming. There's a lot of big dramas on, and I feel every now and then when I watch a big show, I need to watch something that's nice and warm as well, and this is that show.
Well, I've never seen that, so I'm going to look forward to that one.
Beverley, you have a fantastic recommendation, I understand.
I do, and well, I think it would be very close to your heart because it's the Kemps, all true.
Oh, there you
Looking
go.
forward to looking at you. And of course your brother. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think I'll be really.
It's on tonight, 10 o'clock on BBC Two.
Excellent.
What is it? What is it? Tell everyone
It's
what
a
it's about.
mockumentary, basically, about me and my brother, our life going through the band. Imagine French and Saunders playing Martin and Gary Kemp. And it's that kind of comedy. And it kind of... What we try to do is make something that you don't just grin out and kind of go, that's really funny, but make something that you belly laugh at. And it's an hour where you can lose yourself. So listen, if anybody out there wants to watch it, please watch it.
How did you not laugh making it? Were you like cracking up on set?
It was so difficult making it because I couldn't stop laughing. I'm a real giggler when I act, you know, and I can't stop. If something gets me going, it stays in my head all day.
You're gone,
He's the worst. He's the worst. He corpses. That's what he does. Now, hopefully, that is your week ahead sorted. Now, after the break, she has the best table manners in the music business. Podcaster and singer Jessie Ware is going to be joining us.
Plus, we're going to go head-to-head in our final game, so we will see you in a few minutes.
Sunday Best. We're here every Sunday morning to brighten up your day.
Beverley and I, Laura Whitmore, have been here all morning, and now it's time to welcome our final guest.
Yeah, so Jessie Ware burst onto the music scene back in 2012. Fast forward 8 years, she's just released her 4th album, had 2 children, made a podcast with her mum that is now being downloaded 80 million times.
What?
That is not bad going. Jessie, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I wish I was with you in the studio.
I know, it's such a shame. But I mean, listen, we wanted to get you on today because you've got quite literally every media outlet going currently. Let's start with the new...
Fingers in all the pies.
I know, it's ridiculous. I want to start with the new album. So talk to me, what's your pleasure? I mean, what is your pleasure, Jessie Ware?
Well, my ultimate pleasure is cream on ice cream, and don't knock it until you've tried it. It's just an ultimate pleasure that's very easy to access.
But with the new album, I mean, how long has this been in the process for? Is this something you've been doing over the last few months, or has it been like almost like a bigger process than that?
So it took about 2 years, probably because I got pregnant just as I went back into the studio. So then, you know, took a tiny bit of time out, ish. I mean, we were doing the podcast while my son was at the table and Nana Cherry would be holding him for a second. He was 3 weeks old. So we kind of didn't stop working, but the music, I didn't go back into the studio for a bit. So yeah, 2 years in the making.
I love it. And the whole album itself, it's got that real kind of dancey, a really up-tempo vibe to it. I mean, at a time like this, do you think that's just what kind of people need?
I hope so. It's a really cruddy old time at the moment for so many people. You know, there's so much going on. So if I can just provide an hour of escapism and fantasy, I'm I'm at your service.
Because it is a little bit raunchy, isn't it, the album? Is this kind of like real fantasy level for you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is what you have to do. You have to daydream in the studio for me. Yeah, it's absolutely storytelling.
And why not?
I'm not having wild nights out, I tell you.
I want to take a look at the latest single as well. It's called Save a Kiss. Let's take a look at the video. It's fantastic.
Did I see Stacey Dooley?
Yeah, is it Stacey Dooley?
Yes. Stacey was on the podcast, and I'm a big fan of her, and I loved her and Kevin in Strictly, and so I just asked her. It was the beginning of lockdown, and people were quite up for learning dance routines, and I thought, well, Stacey and Kevin will do it. So.
Yeah. I mean, talking of the podcast, you know, you mentioned Stacey there, a fantastic guest, but the podcast itself has gone astronomical. I mean, Table Manners is huge, right? You're doing it with your mum, Lenny. Now, please tell me that I'm not the only one that struggles sometimes working with a parent.
I love my mum to pieces. There is no Table Manners without the diva that is Lenny Ware. However, sometimes I have to speak to her as I would when I'm trying to not get angry with my toddler. And you just, and what is it? Someone told me, count to 10 backwards and say darling at the end and you'll be all right.
But your mum always has a crush on the men. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you're best to stay away, to be honest, because, you know, you won't be able to leave.
I haven't been invited, Ro.
Yeah, sorry,
you are invited. You are absolutely invited.
I've zoned out. I'm counting back from 10, Jess. Darling, there you go. Jess, you did this all through lockdown. I mean, it was your mum with you as well, or was it over the phone? How did it work?
We've been doing it all through Zoom, so it's been, you know, many a reception issue, and my mum having to work out how to self-record with a microphone was very entertaining, not so much for my producer, but yeah, we've just done it through Zoom. She's been on her own, so we're really ready to have people back eating with us, because that's part of the beauty of the podcast, that we cook for them and we have a dinner, you know, and chat. So that's something that we're really missing on the podcast at the moment, but it's been amazing to carry it on through lockdown.
Because you've even got a cookbook that's just been released, right?
Yeah, well, that managed to come out just when we went to lockdown, so that kind of came and went. But I'm so proud of it, and it's actually loads of people were doing lots of the recipes during lockdown, and so we made that, and it's an extension of the podcast, and lots of food memories in there too, and good recipes.
I don't know about you, I'm trying to lose weight from lockdown. Not put it on.
I started 5'2" because it became like Christmas every day.
Jess, now, when I'm cooking, the playlist has to be perfect. I mean, for someone like yourself, you've got such a huge kind of eclectic taste in music. Now, what is the perfect combination of cooking and music for you?
So we listen to loads of jazz when we're cooking, but actually I'm so mad about Roisin Murphy's stuff at the moment. So Murphy's Law, I adore. And then Krangbin, they're incredible, such a great band. I think they're from Texas, and I could listen to them all day.
What are they called? Krangbin?
Yeah, and apparently it means aeroplane in Thai, but I may be completely wrong about that, someone told me.
Do you know what? The great thing is that, you know, you're doing this podcast with your mum, you've gone through this incredible time with her, keeping it going, but I think we're only at the beginning, because you were meant to go on tour with her. Now, that is a whole different beast, touring with your mum. Is that something you've done in the past musically, or is this going to be a first?
So we recently had Emily Evis, who is Glastonbury, everything that is Glastonbury, on the podcast. And my mum managed to wangle a pass, which I would love my mum to death, but I would never, ever give her a Glastonbury pass. They like gold dust, right? She managed to get a chicken soup and matzo ball stall going. So, like, if we're going on tour, I think my mum thinks she's going to be like Shirley Bassey, and she's going to have, like, naked men fanning her and stuff like that. But she'll get a rude awakening.
You must be the only person around who's going, oh, Glastonbury's cancelled.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thanks God for that. Yeah, exactly.
Jessie, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really appreciate you coming on the show. Really lovely.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Jessie's new album, What's Your Pleasure, is out now. Let's hear it for Jessie Ware.
Yes. OK, let's play one final game called Odd One Out. Now, our guests are going to try to deceive us. They'll each tell us 3 things about themselves, but one of those things will be a lie. The opposite team has to work out what's true and what's false. It's a classic game. Everyone clear?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lovely. Laura, you're up first.
Okay, so in the past few months, I have baked 12 banana bread, 2 chocolate cake, and 3 Victoria sponges. No, 4 Victoria sponges. I can speak Irish, or as we like to call it in Ireland, Gaeilge. At the beginning of lockdown, we got a leak from the shower in the house. It came through the ceiling into one of the bedrooms. The ceiling at the moment is coming down, so we've had to have a bath every morning for the last month instead of a shower. Though, if I'm really honest, some days we don't wash.
You've got any questions to Laura on any of those 3?
And you can speak Irish.
Tommy Obalta.
Yeah, I would have thought that's kind of like, yeah, that's true. I would have guessed that's true.
But that struck me as something that must be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Families?
What do we think?
Kid family? What do you reckon?
Yeah.
I think the last one was a lie.
You think the last one's a lie? The water coming through the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
And not taking
Having
a bath. Yeah, I can't imagine Laura not taking a bath.
You're sitting far away from me at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I forget like this all the time.
All right, what are we going to go
think?
for? Do you know what I think we should go for? Because it's really left field, is that Laura can speak Irish. I'm going to say that she can't speak Irish. I think that one's the lie.
Really?
Yeah, because it's left field.
Ah.
What do you reckon, family? Should we go for that?
Let's go for it.
Well,
and
if
then
I was going to have a bet,
right,
my money would be on that. The odd one out is that you can't.
How much money are you putting on it?
Yeah.
Oh, now you've given me a shake. I reckon it's that one. I'm going for that one.
I'll back you. Go on.
Yeah.
I'll back you.
Do I reveal?
Yeah.
To Bronorm Tommy Obalta Cointas Gaeilge. But the other suggestion...
I'm so sorry.
That's what can I just say?
Sorry, guys.
That's what happened.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you overrule your whole team. Your whole team. There is 4 people
They're
on that
breaking
street.
already.
There's
They're breaking
Beverley Knight,
already.
each going, no, she can speak Irish. Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, I'm really sorry. What can I say?
Oh,
I owe you Beverley.
Fantastic. Well played.
If it makes you feel better, what you thought was wrong as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the lie was the baking.
I knew it was the
I've only
bacon.
cooked 1 banana bread and I don't particularly like it.
There you go. I feel better.
God.
You feel better now, exactly.
Not in my
better
house
now.
with a broken ceiling, but yeah.
No way.
So hang on a minute. So you haven't showered?
No, we have a bath.
Right.
It's just very... At least we have time for baths. We have time to have an hour bath in the morning.
Beverley, let's hear yours, please. I'm intrigued.
Okay.
This is unfair because you're an actress, so I don't know.
Well, let's see how good an actress I
Yeah.
am. I once gave a lecture at the Oxford Union. I was once airlifted out of a traffic jam in a chopper to get to a gig on time. And I once joined James Brown on stage for an impromptu jam.
What was the first one again?
I once gave a lecture at the Oxford Union.
I think you did that. I feel it, I see it in the eyes.
Yeah, but I can also imagine that she was airlifted to go to her gig on time.
Can also see you on stage with James Brown.
Yeah. Williamson family,
What do you think,
what are
guys?
you
We need your
thinking?
help. We need your help.
Chopper.
You think the chopper's the lie?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Beverley's amazing, so she probably did jam with James Brown.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to agree with the Williamson family, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna be the bigger man. I'm gonna listen to my team, and I'm gonna go. We're gonna go with that one, yeah.
I think
so. We
so.
think
I
the
trust
chopper is
them.
the lie. We think the chopper is the odd one out.
Yeah.
The odd one out is that I did not join James Brown.
I would have gone for that.
We're in it together, team. We're in it together. We're wrong together.
I did actually get airlifted out of a traffic jam. It was Andrea Bocelli's gig, and we were due to sing together, and we were stuck in this traffic jam, and he called a mate of his who had a chopper, as you do, parked it in a field. We got out of the vehicle that we were in, me and name drop David Bryan from Bon Jovi.
Oh my
got
God.
out, ran into the chopper, up we went, landed backstage.
How amazing.
Made it on stage with Andrea Bocelli.
That is insane.
That's a lovely little anecdote.
Yeah.
Great story.
And I did talk to the Oxford Union, did give a lecture.
Wow.
Yes.
What was the lecture on?
It was on my experience with HIV and how we can take it forward.
Wow.
And how we can
Unbelievable.
battle it
So many stories, mate. That's fantastic. Listen, do you know what? At the end of that, no points aside. So it's over to Nan Ruth to find out which team she has declared the winner of this week. Is it myself or my dad, Nan Ruth?
It's a draw, unfortunately.
A draw. First one this year.
But the overall winner is Martin.
There you go.
Well done.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Now, Ruth, you sold me short there. You set me up for failure. You were like, no, don't worry, Rose. The first draw of the series. Oh, no, actually, it's your dad.
Thank you for coming back, then, Ruth.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you so much. You've been awesome. That is our lot for today. And if it's not enough for you, you can watch the whole show again on the ITV Hub.
Thanks to Nan Ruth, the Kid family, and of course Beverley Knight.
Yes. And a virtual high five to the Williamson family and Laura Whitmore.
We are back next Sunday.
Thanks so much for spending your morning with us.
See you next week.
See you later.